So, I'm going to share with you, are you guys with me here today?
Oh, yeah.
Or are you guys just, we're going to end the session right now? No. You're with me?
Yeah.
You can feel it?
Yeah.
All right, that's what I want to hear. So, I'm going to start with explaining here, or sharing with you, the three major challenges that I see with Latino practitioners across the country. Okay? So I'll share with you these three major challenges, which I thought only existed in Las Vegas. But after doing analytics in about 30 Latino markets across the country, come to find out it applies everywhere. So I'm going to share with you the three major challenges. Number one is that we must work harder. We must work harder. It's painful to see the work ethic in this industry. So many people come into the business for flexibility. They want to own their own schedule. They want to come to work when they want to work. They don't want to work, they don't have to work. Which we all know is complacency. And we can't do that. See, my parents came to this country from Cuba in 1964. And they were stripped of everything. Only to leave with one nickel. And all options were cut off. My father and grandfather and family, they landed in Las Vegas for whatever reason. And in their first year, they started a grocery business. A business that lasted 45 plus years. Okay? By year two, my father purchased his first home. And many homes after that. And these homes we still own today. The home he bought in 1966, I still own today. Free and clear. See, my father worked 3 jobs. And he worked his tail off. And my grandfather did. Why? Because they had to provide and all options were cut off. Okay? So he had the grocery business and he had 2 other full-time jobs that he had to work to make things happen. And he never asked for any handouts. Okay? He showed up and did what he had to do to provide for his family. And I had the opportunity to work next to him for 10 years. And I learned really quickly what it took to be successful. And there's no magic formula. So you guys with me? So I left that business to create my own legacy. And I worked like my parents did and grandparents did when they came to this country. And I never took anything for granted. Okay, because I have to, what they did for me, I have to do for my kids and my parents and my family. See, I'm willing to work hard. And that's challenge number one that I see with Latino practitioners in this country. Challenge number 2. Latino agents are great at working buyers. They're great. They've mastered that. But 80% of the listings taken in Latino communities across the country are taken by non-Latino agents. That's a major problem. See, if you want to be in control of your business, you have to be the listing agent. I hear all the time agents complain as I go talking in different parts of the country. Man, the market this, REO that, short sales this, appraisal issues, there's no inventory, we have to pay above list price, the appraisals are not coming in. You guys have heard it all. Is that right? Yes. And you want to be in full control of your business, you got to be a strong listing agent. See, if you want to be the employer, you have to be the listing agent. If you're a buying agent, you're the employee and you work for the listing agent. You want to have full control of your business, you have to be a strong listing agent, always. Control the inventory, you control the market. You want to have control of the buyers, be a listing agent. You want to control the money that you spend in advertising and marketing, control the inventory. You want to control the other agents in the market, control the inventory. That's challenge number 2. It's a major problem. It has been. That's why I was able to beat out my competition in my market for years. Because I found out early on that the Latino agents in my market could not list properties. All right? You got to invest in yourself to be strong. Number 3. This is, I hold very dear to me, and I believe this so much, that I believe that we need a bigger influence in our lives. We need better exposure in our lives. We give you permission to make a lot of money. We want you to do extremely well in your business. But who are you spending time with? Who are the people around you that are they helping you get to the next level? Or are they holding you back? I was just in Austin a few weeks ago, and we were recognizing the top 25 Hispanic agents in Austin. So we had a dinner night before, we had an event similar to this, and so I had the opportunity to sit by the number 1 agent, and her name's Lisa, and so we started talking. I said, Lisa, so how do you do in business? She goes, well, I sold 90 properties last year. I said, wow. How much did you earn? $580,000. That's big money. I said, so I assume you're number 1 in your office. Yep, I'm number 1. I said, great, so you're number 1 obviously in the marketplace this year. Yep, $580,000. I said, I assume, Lisa, that you are the biggest earner in your family. She goes, by far. I said, who's the second biggest one? She said, $60,000 or $80,000. I said, so what is the next level for you? And she said, well, I really haven't thought about that. Maybe maintain what I have, maybe hit 100 transactions. I said, the challenge that you have is you're at number 1. And from once you're at number 1 and you believe in number 1 and you believe in the press that has been fed to you, it's all downhill from there. I said, you don't have to work any harder to earn $1, $2, $3, $4 million a year. You just have to expose yourself to people that are doing it. I know people, I told Lisa, I know people that are, I know ladies that are earning $2, $3, $4, $5 million in the real estate business. I said, do you know of any of them? No. I said, you're going to have to get outside of your market and find the people that are doing it so that you can believe that you can do it. And then you're going to have to make changes in your market around the influence and the exposure that you have so it doesn't influence to bring you down. See, I believe that if your influence is strong enough, it will help you get to the next level. Early on, I looked for the very best in the country. And I spent the majority of my time that I spent were with people doing between $1 and $6 million a year. I've been earning on average 1.5, 1.8 million for the last 10 years. But that's because I spent time with the folks that were earning that type of money. I was very careful who was influencing me and the exposure that I had, and I was very careful with the people that I spent time with. See, I believe, just like Lisa, it's time for the Latinas to step up. It's your time. Maria, it is your time to earn more money. To double, triple, quadruple your income. It's okay to make a lot of money. And let me tell you, the more money you make, it becomes the air becomes much thinner. But it's okay. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family. It's okay to make a lot of money. Find the people that are doing it. And if you can't find them in your marketplace, go out and find them. They're out there. The Latino entrepreneurs of the world. Latinas, it's your time. It's time to make a lot of money. Step it up. No excuses. I know plenty of women that are earning $1 million plus a year in the real estate business. Matter of fact, the person I know that does the most, somewhere around $5.5 million, is a female. You know, we have Nelly Galan at our convention in 30, 45 days. And who knows who Nelly Galan is? Just a few. Powerful Latina, Juana entrepreneur. Look her up. So we're going to have her speak at the national convention. And Coca-Cola has sponsored her. And Coca-Cola has funded her in a big way. And she has a quote and says, "Buy from a Latina." Very powerful, with the Coca-Cola symbol on the back. She says, "Latinas, stop buying shoes and go out and buy buildings." How about that? Nelly Galan. She'll be at our national convention. Exposure and influence is everything. Today, the people I spend time with, I owned a Remax for 10 years, 12 years. I just bought a Century 21 franchise based on my goals and what I wanted to do. So I spent a lot of time with the largest Century 21 brokers in the country. I knew some of them, identified the others. We mastermind every week, which I'll talk about here in just a minute. But that's my influence, right? Because I'm already thinking I'm at the top. I have a firm up here, which we'll talk also about in a minute. So with your permission, I'd like to talk about the top 10 powerhouse principles that I applied in my business over the last 13 years. Are you guys ready? You ready?
Yes.
All right. Number 1, affirmations. Affirmations. See, I already affirmed up here that I am the #1 Latino broker in the country. It's affirmed up here. I affirmed that I was the best listing agent in my marketplace. I affirmed that I was the most skilled in my market. And nobody was going to change the programming here. When the market was crashing and we went through so many challenges in the marketplace, in the country, I affirmed here that it was opportunity for me. I didn't look at it negatively because there's so many mixed messages through press, through the newspaper, through agents, through customers, and so much crap that's out there. And you start buying into it and believing that the market isn't that great. If a buyer comes to you, most agents say, well, the market is short of inventory, you have to pay about this price, you have to do this, you have to do that. And before you know it, a motivated buyer that was ready to move ends up going to counseling because they think they can't buy. Right? Because here, the programming is all screwed up. We need to affirm that this is the best market to ever buy in. We need to affirm that this is the greatest time to sell. Affirmations, you have to believe that you're the best in your market if you're going to take your business to the next level. I believe it. And there's nobody that can tell me any different, and I won't be the #1 Latino broker in the country. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Number 2, showing up. You got to show up every single day. You got to show up every day. You got to dress like a professional, be in a business suit, and be ready to make a difference in your market every single day. Remember I talked about flexibility? You got to throw that out the door. The folks that have home office agents, which I'm sure we have here, go home tonight, pack your stuff, and take it to an office tomorrow. Can you imagine going to a doctor and the doctor says, sure, come to my house, 1178 Worm Canyon Way? Would you go to the doctor? Or your attorney says, come to my house, we close the office down. See, being a home office, imagine this, you get dressed up. If you have a home office, I want you to do this tomorrow morning. You go 6 in the morning, get dressed, get in a business suit, and just stand in your living room and wait for somebody to knock on the door to buy or sell. eliminate the home office, cut the options out, show up and perform every single day. Number 3. Number 3 is role play and practice and improve your skills every single day. The top athletes in the country do. All professional athletes practice. Can you imagine Michael Jordan going out and never practicing? Would he have been the very best? Or Tiger Woods? Tiger Woods practices 6 to 8 hours a day on his off days that he's not in a tournament. Plus he practices while he's in the tournaments, okay, before and after. You have to practice every single day and work on your scripts and work on your presentation and work on what to say, who to look for, how to do it. You have to be prepared. How strong is your presentation? So I'll give you a little bit of skills that I have and I have worked on for many years. I probably have 30 different types of presentations or scripts programmed here, probably another 30 in Spanish. Okay? Still today, because I'm in the real estate business, I still practice my scripts as an agent so I don't lose my touch, right? And I don't lose my skills. So let me give you an example. Anybody want a cold call, just listed, just sold, expired? Expired? Okay. So expired. Hi, this is Juan with 7321. I noticed your home came up on the computer as expired listing. I was calling to see when you plan to interview the right agent for the job. Tell me home, your homework, go 9 cents, you have to be there. What do you expect your home from telling? How do you have the last agent to listen with? What does that agent do like best? What do you feel they should have? What do you expect from the next agent you choose? I've already chosen to work with. I'd like to apply to the job. Selling your home. Are you familiar with the techniques that I use to sell lots of home? When would be the best time to show you? Monday or Tuesday at 4? I'll give you it just sold. Hi, this is Juan with 7321. We just sold a home in your area over on Vegas Valley Drive. It has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and sold for $250,000. We know when someone sells a home, usually 2 more so right away. So I was wondering when you plan on moving. How long have you lived this stress? Where do you move from? How do you have to this area? Where do you move? Where do you go next? And when would that be? Obviously, you realize it could take 3 to 6 months in this market to get a home sold. And you know, so my question is, you have to be sold in 6 months. You want to start selling at that time. Fortunately, get you one step closer to LA. All we need to do now is send a point so I can help you get what you want. The time you want, won't that be great? Monday or Tuesday at 4. Make sense? You have to invest in your skills in order to be a superstar. The more skilled you are, the higher your income goes. Goes up, not down, up. Number 4, prospecting. You have to prospect every day. The highest and best use for me was prospecting. Even more important than a listing presentation. See, the 2 most important things that I could be doing in a day as a real estate agent, number 1, prospecting. Number 2, being on an appointment. That's it. Guess what? I'm going to give you guys the secrets of building the largest Latino brokerage in the country. Number 1, prospect for agents. Number 2, recruiting appointments. Same thing. I used to prospect for buyers and sellers. I would be in appointments with listing appointments. Now I just prospect to agents, and I'm in appointments with agents. It's pretty simple. See, early on I learned that was my highest and best use, and I knew that if I was on the phones I would be earning about $1,500 an hour, and I was on the phone 8 to 10 hours a day. So I delegated price reductions, I delegated seller updates, I delegated the buying sides, I delegated the buyer appointments and buyer presentations and showing properties. I delegated the listing appointments, which was the toughest thing to do for me. I delegated negotiations, and I delegated everything and left it to one thing all day long. And that was finding sellers that were motivated to sell right now. I knew if I focused on that, we'd have all the buyers in the world. Guess what? For 10, 12 years, nobody beat me in buyer sales every year. The last year in 2011, I did 225 buyer transactions. And that was purely 100% traditional, first-time home buyers, second-time home buyers. That's it. No investors, maybe a small 5 or 10 handful. I was willing to prospect every single day looking for business. Eddie, you can't stop prospecting. You got to keep looking for new business. Never get complacent with all the business that you have because you're one of the top 5 in the country, right? But you can't buy into the press. You got to keep prospecting, thinking outside the box, reaching out to people, seeing who's earning the 3, 4, 5, 6 million, because it never ends. Because the truth is, that your license doesn't have a limit. Your license doesn't say that you can only earn $200,000 a year, or does it here in Florida? Because I don't know. Is it different here? In Orlando, is there any limits? No. In Miami, is there any limits? No limit. See, it's okay to earn $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 million a year. But you have to be willing to prospect every day and never buy into you have enough business. If you want to get to the top, you have to make those efforts every single day. What number are we on? Going on 5. Being a master at lead follow-up. A master at following up. You have to get that down if you want to succeed at a high level. My lead follow-up system, I know a lot of you have different softwares to do follow-up. I have a simple system, it's 3x5 cards. And a little 3x5 box that I still use today. And I set all my appointments on the 3x5, not on my iPhone. I still don't even know how to set a calendar meeting or whatever on my iPhone. Don't care to learn. Because the 3x5s work very well. And I beat my competition out every day for 13 years because my follow-up was 20 times better than theirs. If I told the seller I would call them Monday at 3 o'clock and set an appointment, I'd call them Monday at 3. If I told the buyer that we were meeting at 4 o'clock, I'd meet them at 4 o'clock. If a seller wasn't willing to make a decision to buy or to sell within 7 days and was not willing to sign a contract, that lead would go to the garbage. I don't recommend that for you. I would say max 30 days. But if a buyer or seller is not willing to sign a contract or move forward with the process in 30 days or less, then you may want to pass that on to your competitor. Okay? I tell a lot of agents over the years, you can make over $100,000 a year just out of my garbage can. You have to be a master at follow-up if you're going to take your business to the next level. Number 6, you have to be a master at presenting. I don't care if you're an originator. Originators, how strong is your presentation when you have an opportunity to meet with a real estate agent? Is your presentation just like every originator? What do originators say? I can close in 20, 30 days. We have the best rates. We have in-house underwriting and processing. How strong is your presentation when that opportunity arrives? Branch managers, when it's time to recruit an originator, how strong is your presentation? Is it scripted? You know exactly what you're saying. Real estate agents, how strong is your buyer presentation or listing presentation? Presenting is everything. That's how I close my deals. That's how I'm going to build the largest Latino brokerage, is being in presentations. See, I travel right now, and I do my brokerage part-time because I'm full-time for NAHREP, right? And I travel a lot. But every day that I'm back at home, I want to be in 2 appointments every day that I'm there. Because as long as I'm in 2 appointments, I know I'm going to recruit at least 50%, and my business is growing while I'm traveling. Next. Number 7. How are we doing on time?
Got plenty.
Do we just cut it now?
No.
Okay. All right. Mastering your schedule. You have to master your schedule. Remember the whole flexibility thing, throw that out the door. If you don't have a schedule every day, you're in trouble. If you don't have a schedule every day, that tells me you're not growing. As we're building the company, I see everything that I didn't see for 13 years. Agents coming in at 11, at 12, 10 o'clock, laid back, which obviously I'm changing that culture because I'm going to build a culture of all of this right here. And if they don't follow the culture, they're out of the company. Controlling your schedule. Let me tell you how to control your schedule. Number one is affirmations in the morning, early morning, role play early morning, and then get on the phones and prospect from 8 to 12, 9 to 12, at least 3 hours every morning. That's it. Nothing else. You leave all of your appointments for the afternoon from 1 to 6. You leave all the administrative and emailing in the afternoon. Everything, inspections, I don't care what it is, leave it in the afternoon. You need to go see your therapist, do it in the afternoon. You need to go see the doctor, afternoon. No excuses. And don't tell me that you can't do it because I did it for 13 years. I had to train my family, I had to train staff, I had to train my salespeople, that nobody breaks my schedule. Matter of fact, we have a guest here today, or are you a member, Jorge? All right, you better sign up today if you're not a member. So Jorge relocated from Las Vegas to Florida, how long ago? 4.5 years ago. Happens to be that Jorge was a partner of ours and sat in my real estate office. Did I prospect 8 or 10 hours a day? Matter of fact, you sat right outside of my office. Did I horse around during the day? It's 100% business. In the afternoon, you set all your appointments. You can do it. Control your morning schedule and show up early and prospect every morning. I don't care how much business you have. I don't care how crazy it gets. Guess what? I don't respond to emails Monday through Friday during business hours. Don't even look at them. I'll deal with them at night. I'll deal with them on the weekend. But I'm not going to deal with emails during business hours. It doesn't happen. Eddie, how long does it take me to respond to your emails sometimes?
You're pretty good about it, but you're done from that every day.
Okay. Next, number 8. Create a business plan. You have to have a business plan if you are planning on moving forward and setting goals. If you don't have a business plan, that's a challenge. A business plan should have what you did in the past. So how many deals did I close in 2012? How many listing appointments did I go on? How many presentations did I do? How many buyers did I work with? How much did I make in closed commission? How much was my average commission? How many days did I work? How many contacts did I make? How many appointments did I set? How many appointments I went on? You have to know all this information. Then, what is my goal for this year? What is my goal for this year? Do I want to do 50 transactions, 30, 100, 500, 1,000? You have to have a plan. And that plan could be 1 page, 2 page, 5 pages. The simpler, the better. It could be on a 3x5 card, and that's fine too. But you have to have some type of plan to know where you're going. How much do I want to earn? How many deals do I want to close? And then share it with your family. Share it with the broker. Share it with other agents that have like-minded goals. Okay? You have to have a business plan. Number 9 is creating a database. That's a major problem, guys. I know 95% of the agents out there do not have a database. The only database that they have is a database that they have on their phone. The database is the foundation of your business. The database is what we work so hard for. See, your database will give you a 10% return every year if you just call them every 90 days. You have 500 people in your database that are past clients or a center of influence, meaning they've known you, their family, their friends, they would meet with you, they'd have dinner with you, not just somebody you door knocked and threw into the database. People that you know. And if you connect with them every 90 days, they will give you a 10% return every year. That's 50 transactions, 500 contacts. How many people do you have in your database? Do you have a database system? The database is the foundation of a business. See, all the work that I did all these years and putting it into a database and cultivating and building it, we built a database of about 4,500 customers. See, I walk in every day, and I'm not even in the real estate as a real estate agent, but I have customers that walk in every day. Because I branded me for 13 years, I branded my location, and I continue branding to my customers year after year. See, even if I didn't become that broker and I just maintained what I did and never prospected again, I would do 400 or 500 transactions a year. Database is the foundation of your business. By the way, there's 3 ways of getting business. Number 1 is sitting in your living room, in your home office, waiting for business to come to you. Number 2 is that you're buying the business. You're advertising, you're marketing, you're buying business for that business to be sent to you, and then you're trying to convert. And then number 3 is going out and getting the business. Walking out of that living room and knocking on doors, getting on the phone prospecting, calling your database, calling expireds, calling for sale by owners, doing cold calling. 3 ways of doing business. The most profitable is going out and finding it. Building your skills, going out and finding that business, putting that business into that database once you close, adopting the other client of the other agent into your database, and retain that customer for life. That is good business. Having a strong foundation by having a database. And lastly is mastermind. Having a mastermind group is everything. Early on, I probably have been in over 30 mastermind groups over the years. And in those mastermind groups, we would talk about getting to the next level, thinking big, how to earn so much. We'd have mastermind groups on listening presentations. We'd have, the last mastermind group that I was in as an agent was last year. It was called the Think Big Group. And the Think Big Group, a little bit bigger than the norm on a mastermind group, it was 10 of us. And we'd get together twice a year, and we'd have a call 30 minutes every Monday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. And the Think Big Group, they all earn between $1 and $6 million a year. Big thinkers in the real estate business. And the last thing that we talked about, which was third, fourth quarter of 2012, we spent like 6 months on this, how to take 750 listings a year as one agent. What would the process look like? How would the staff be set up? How would we generate the business? How would it come in? Would we go out? How would the flow be? And we spent a lot of time thinking about that. Thinking big. How big do you think? Who's your influence? Because your mastermind group can be a big influence in your lives. The ESN show, so NAHREP has a show called Esta Semana NAHREP. And it happens to be that we did a part 2 series of mastermind groups. So the show comes out every Monday morning, and it just came out this week, part 2 of mastermind. And Armando runs that show, and he brought me in to talk about mastermind groups, and I go a little bit of detail into it. Create a mastermind group. It will help you get your business to the next level. Right now, I'm wanting to be the #1 Latino brokerage in the country. On my way there, I have a mastermind group of like-minded people that are doing $20, $30, $40 million a year, okay, as a company or more, And those are the people I'm spending time with in my mastermind group. That's my influence on me. When I have a challenge, or I have to make a big business decision, I call one of them. Hey, what do you think about this? Make sense? Number 10, having a mastermind group. This is exactly what I'm doing and what I will do for the next 10 years. And I ask that all of you hold me accountable to be in the largest Century 21 office in the country, and be in the largest Latino brokerage in the country, and be in the largest real estate brokerage in my city, in my marketplace. I ask all of you to hold me accountable. So I want to close it out with this, I challenge each and every one of you to take your business to the next level. I challenge all of you to invest in yourself. I ask, who is going to hold you accountable to the goals that you set? Who's coaching you? Who's holding you accountable? And do you really want to take full control of your business? Who's going to help you get to the next level? Who is the biggest influences in your life? And if they're not strong enough, are you willing to make the change? Are you willing to make the change? I'll end it with the famous quote, Latino quote. Dime con quién anda.
Yo te diré con quién tú eres.
That's right. Change the influence. I thank you guys. I do want to say that we give you permission, NAHREP gives you permission to make a lot of money, to be rich, to be an inspiration for other Latinos. Latinas, it's your time to make a difference. I thank everyone here for being here today.